Hi guys, it's D, and I love to suffer.
Fuck YouTube, fuck YouTube, fuck YouTube. Stop fucking my motherfucking videos. It falls under fair use.
Goddamn. I'm out of shape. I'm having a hard time trying to balance YouTubing, regular job, artist. I also have been trying to draw more and develop more on this story that I'm working on. You guys are gonna realize that my laugh sounds like a car starting up. I hate it. I wanna start by giving my friend Tom Grabowski a shout out because he has been plugging the shit out of me. I really don't know why. I don't know what occurred or what I did to deserve somebody who I genuinely think is so funny and so interesting, absolutely hilarious, to give me even the smallest of plugs. I started watching his channel when it was probably at like 8K. He is at now, what, 39K? 39? Oh, fuck. Great job, dude. You should really watch his content. Because I was raised in the South and I have manners, I just want to say thank you. I'm really weird with accepting compliments and praise. It's very difficult for me to navigate it. I usually have the same default response, which is, oh my God, thank you so much. I mean that every single time that I type it, every single time that you watch my videos, every single time that I verbally say it, because I genuinely am so grateful for the overwhelming kindness that I've received for just being a thirsty mess. I never thought I'd be able to get praise for being a monster fucker, but here we are. This is truly the darkest timeline. Welcome to 2020. I'm not really sure how I even found his channel. I just was kind of scrolling. I'm an avid YouTube user and I clicked it. The first video that I saw, there was a clip where he just said, fuck you. I was sold. I like anybody who has a dry, delicious sense of humor. Really enjoy his content. I am so grateful. Like I said before in the message that I sent you, you've got a fucking friend in me, dude. I think you're awesome. You're also another one of the reasons where I just said fuck it and turned the camera on. So just mwah, forehead kiss. Enough of that sappy bullshit.
That doesn't watch, fuck you.
Also, I really want to preface this by saying that I use humor to cope with all of the things that I've experienced in my life. And some of my videos will be sexual in nature, of me just objectifying the shit out of fictional characters. Even with that being said, I have the things that I like and that I enjoy, and they're all nasty. But I'm also a rational thinking person, and I know that I will have people coming in who are maybe not at the top part of their recovery process with their trauma. If you guys have the avenue in order to go and get therapy, if you have a good support system, talk to them. I know that some people will not be able to have that outlet or the funds or the means to go and actually be treated for the things that they maybe fight with. I'm just here to make you laugh. I am using the things I've experienced in my life in order to make content for people who might benefit from it. So for those who cannot afford therapy, welcome to my channel. I just want to say from the bottom of my hypersexual heart, I love you guys. I'm so grateful that even two people think that I'm entertaining enough to just sit down and watch. Also, because I'm new to this, I would really like if you guys subscribed. It would make me very, very happy. That's why I brought the titties out, so I can hit that move. Please subscribe. I'm so fucking sorry. God, I hate myself. I'm just a bitch sitting in a room I don't use, using an iPhone to make YouTube videos. I'm gonna assume that you guys liked the last video that I made. It really doesn't matter because I'm gonna make another one. You guys might be new here. I'm a huge fan of horror. I watch an ungodly amount of it. I have a Shudder subscription. I listen to creepypastas every single fucking day. Face getting all oily. See, if I was movie star, I'd have a little white woman in here powdering my fucking face up in between goddamn shots. I'd be like, Susan, you're pressing too hard. I don't really know if this one's gonna be a list of 10 because I didn't even finish the script, but y'all gonna get what y'all gonna get, okay? I was watching Hush on Monday and I realized I love violence. That came out wrong. I like watching violence in film. All the media that I consume, I am constantly thinking, would I fuck this person? I'm constantly thinking like, what, could they get it? One thing that really bothers me about villains in media is that they constantly think that they need a backstory. Whenever I watch something and the villain is being sympathized, cool story, still murder, I don't need a backstory for my villains. I like villains who are evil just for the sake of being fucking evil. prime example is The Strangers, because you were home. Haunting. That's how you scare me. It is so difficult to scare me with horror movies. I watch them, and 90% of the time, the only thing that's actually scary is just startling. It's just shocking with a orchestra sting, a jump scare. Those aren't real scares. I think that in horror movies, in order to actually drive that fear home, you need to do something that's human and relatable. And something as disturbing as murdering someone just to do it is horrifying. Because as humans, most times you're just thinking of ways to make sense of stuff. Like, you're constantly thinking like, well, there's probably a reason for it. I hate to break it to you, bud. Sometimes there's really not a reason for shit. Sometimes people do things just because you were home. Horror films are a chance for us to consume otherwise completely undesirable behavior. But I, for one, believe in hedonism. Would thou like to live deliciously? Why, yes. Yes, I would. That's why I watch horror movies with people in there that murder, and I also would let them shoot up my club. Smack it, flip it, and rub it down. There's times where I'll come home and I'll be like, hello? Mr. Murderer, please take what you need and leave me alone. Don't hurt the dogs. The thought of someone like hiding in my closet while I'm just fucking living my best life and getting murdered, I'm afraid I don't have time to be murdered, so I'm gonna have to reschedule on. Y'all ever just be tired of being a fucking corporeal being? I wake up every day and I'm like, damn, I'm still in this bitch. So here we go again with another possibly long list, possibly short list. I don't know. I ramble, so it might only have 3 people on there. Here's another list of horror antagonists that make me slip and slide. The first antagonist is the man from Hush. He was out doing hood rat stuff by himself because, you know, he an independent daddy. He don't need no partner. He's the whole reason that I made this list. As I stated earlier, I was watching the film and they don't even explain to you why he was doing these things. There was no explanation. He just shows up chasing this woman. I'm gonna come back to her because I have fucking problems with her. I have issues with what that bitch did. There's no explanation as to why he was doing these things. He simply was just doing them. He shows up in this weird ass mask that I was kind of into. I kind of liked it. Rob me. Hold me hostage, shit. Kidnap this pussy. There's a lot of clips of him just being crazy for no reason. None. And I love that. That's kind of my kink. Like, let's talk about the friend, right? So the film starts off with the main protagonist is deaf. She cannot hear. Shout out to all the deaf shouties.
Not gonna get much out of this concert because he's stoned out.
To who?
Captions are available for this video. So the friend runs up after being, I'm sure, viciously attacked at her home to the one person who cannot fucking help her. Unless the bitch was sitting and just staring out the window. She wasn't. She's a regular person. She was living her fucking life. She can't hear you, bitch. So you banging on the door and say, please see me. There's no one else. There's no other fucking house that you could have went to. I have issues with that. Because we're this close. We're this fucking close. You telling me there's not another house you could have ran to that was a little bit closer of somebody who you didn't fuck up? Rest of this film, I blame that first friend for. That bitch that came over banging on homegirl's door. I blame her. Fuck you. You're a shitty fucking friend. Because if I knew my deaf friend lived up the road and I was being stabbed by a daddy, if I was being stabbed by somebody, literally being viciously attacked, I would not take them to my deaf friend's house. Cause if this was real life, bitch, both y'all dead. Both of y'all are dead. If he was in East Texas trying to do this shit, you was in East Texas trying to kill somebody, baby, you'd be fed to the hogs. We keep them things on us. Sorry, you would not have made it out in Texas. Not in East Texas. She ran to this deaf woman's house and, for all intents and purposes, got her killed. Because after she died, for all she knew, he went right in the house to murder the bitch. You're a fucking terrible friend. I would never do that. I'm irked. Hello, God, it's me, your girl, Countess Bucci Flagrante. Bitch, you should have just died at your house. You should have stayed at your house and died on your own, bitch. And why did you go over there and not call? Like, you had a phone. Your husband was this big brolic nigga, and you ran to the tiny deaf woman that lives up the fucking street and you got her killed. You should have just died by yourself at your house. That's fucking selfish of you. Oh my God, I keep getting off topic. ADHD fucking busting through, bitch. There was something about the scene where she's literally sitting on her steps. The lights are turned off. She's like shaking and looking out the window. And she realizes like, okay, I'm gonna have to write because I don't know where he is. She writes on the window itself, won't tell, didn't see face.
Can you read my lips? Can you? You've seen it now, haven't you?
This nigga, when I tell you that shit, it made me say, ooh, I hit it. Girl, I'm gonna have to call you back. I think it's just the energy. I think it's just that like, I run shit energy. It's so sexy to me. I got too much of an attitude. I be arguing with people. So I'm just too bratty for all that. But I am attracted to it. It's hot. I'm sorry. Y'all don't need to be fucking around with people who do not respect you, okay? Love yourselves, all of you. Now, I don't have to do that because I'm me, okay? I disrespect myself every single day, and I would let him disrespect this. Got all this neck just for you. It's all for you. All this neck is for you, sir. I almost slipped off my chair. That's the whole reason I watched that movie over and over again. No, I don't respect myself, but that's for me to do. Y'all don't be trying to disrespect me. I can disrespect myself. Y'all can't disrespect me. Do not. Homie really wanted all the smoke. You can tell this nigga was out here murdering people from house to house like it was Halloween. This coochie is the treat. And he was doing it just for the fuck of it. And I love that. Who gonna check me? I love that. Give me villains who are irredeemable, but I also would sit on their face. Give me those villains. I want villains that I would ride into the sunset. Give me those. I don't need a backstory. I don't care. Okay? I don't give a fuck. Oh my God. And I forgot there was another really fantastic quote. So it was after all of the shit popped off, right? They stumbling, bumbling, stabbing each other, shooting each other with fucking arrows all through the goddamn house. And clearly this man does not care. He didn't give a fuck because his blood was all over the goddamn crime scene. He was bleeding on the drapes, the walls, the floor, me. Clearly this man was just crazy. He didn't care. None of that mattered to him. He was just out here doing it. Like Miguel said, he was doing it for the thrill. That's a good album. After they finish bleeding all over the fucking place, she runs through all of the scenarios of how she can survive. She thinks, okay, I can run. No, he'll catch me. I got shot in the goddamn thigh. Shooting people in the thigh. You know, if you hit something major in the fucking thigh, they gonna bleed out quick. Homegirl was bleeding. She was fading fast. So she goes upstairs. Why? We as a society have progressed past the need to run upstairs when horror films are happening. Bitch, I'm not going upstairs. My knees hurt already. I'm old. Fuck. Do not chase me. Sometimes I watch horror films and I'm like, girl, just give up. Just give the fuck up. My logical brain cannot come up with any way to escape from this scenario. You should die. Why hasn't that been done in a movie? And if it has, link it below. Space right now to pause and say, please subscribe. I don't know if you got this far in the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of these jiggly titties. She barricades herself in the bathroom upstairs and she's sitting there with the knife, eyes low off that smoke in the background. I feel like that scene is very beautifully shot. She's the main focus of the camera, and just behind her, blurred, is the glass falling from it breaking. He climbs in through the window while she's still very, very focused on the door in front of her. And again, I'm like, why she didn't feel the fucking vibrations? This is a big nigga. He was probably like, what, 6'1", 180, 200? 6'1", 200? He wasn't built for it tough. Like, that nigga looked like if you hit him in the chest one time, it looked like she could have folded his ass. He wasn't built like no big nigga. I don't understand that. She could have beat him up. I think she could have beat him up. Anyway, as he's sitting behind her, he's talking shit. This man had already stomped her fucking fingers out, broke her fingers, busted her shit up. So she's holding the knife in her only good hand. She had to go the whole rest of the film without her dominant hand? Oh no, sir. Oh no. He's sitting behind her with the knife and he says,
You know what? I think that you're holding out on me. I bet if I hit the right spot, I can make you scream.
my panties disintegrated. Baby, my panties hit the beam me up Scotty button and disappeared. They were transported to a new location. My sex life is zero, non-existent. That raw sexual energy imbues me. I was revived. It watered my crops. It saved me and my family from starvation. It greased my scalp. Now, eventually he did end up getting the smoke. Like, he was asking for it earlier and he eventually got the smoke because he did the one thing you just should not do. He underestimated a disabled person and homegirl turned that nigga into a cork. Homegirl said, ah! Homegirl really, she gave him the two-piece. She popped that ass up and he deserved it. But pull up. Up, sir, and I mean, we can set an appointment and you can reserve these holes. This whole video is gonna be nasty. I'm nasty. The second person that's on this list is David from The Guest. David isn't exactly what most people will call a bad guy, and I know a lot of people might argue that he was evil. He did have a sad backstory. He isn't exactly a bad guy, and most people would qualify him as an anti-hero. I would disagree. The way he was constantly a hair away from being unhinged and killing anyone in the immediate vicinity, but also being like a really sweet, just like Southern gentleman. I do declare my stars and stripes. Also, ladies, stay the hell away from these yeehaw thoughts. They will rankle you in. Fuck the change out your couch. Go to your best friend's house and collect her change, then get it an 18-wheeler and girl, you will never see them again. Save yourselves. David was in a military project that basically made a slutty Steve Rogers. They were out here doing the swoop and scoop. And unlike Captain America, America's oldest virgin, this guy fucks. He fucks. David is a powerhouse. There's this whole set of films set in like an 80s atmosphere that I really fuck with. The Guest, Drive, It Follows. I really like It Follows. That is not a monster that I would fuck. The soundtrack is killer. So is David. The reason that he was so alluring to me is simple. There's something so powerful in a man that knows that he could air shit out, but makes the conscious decision not to. That energy maker perk up. Like, they have this ability to talk things out before actually choosing to get physical. I could drown a small village. I love that flavor. Delicious. That reminds me of this meme. It was like, this dude's chatting with this girl. He's trying to hit this girl up. And he's like, man, you got a boyfriend. And she says, so beat him up, pussy. That, beat him up. Don't let shit stand, beat him up. David is very special in this situation because he tried to do the right thing at first. This is why I believe that David is actually a bad guy. He is a villain. He delivered on his best friend's final wish by going to see his family and saying, hey, he wanted me to tell you guys that he loved you and he thought about you all the way up until the end. He even tried to leave before shit got real. He failed, but he tried to do it. And I know y'all, again, I know y'all in the comments thinking that y'all can judge me. First off, some of y'all fucking on niggas who ain't got jobs and they fucking you for a place to stay. Stay in your lane. I'm only gonna tell you this once. David even apologized before killing homie's whole family. He said sorry before he stabbed that lady. That don't mean shit. And you could tell that he didn't want to do it, but the reason that David is still evil is because he did. He made the decision to look this woman in her eye and still stab her to death and dip. He didn't have to do that. And that's what makes him truly evil. He could have not done it. That's evil. If you out here with the ability to change things, rich people, and you make the active decision not to, that makes you evil. You are complicit. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Killed his best friend's family without a single second thought. I'm sure even afterwards he didn't think about it. What I'm saying is beat me up. Come over and beat my ass. Pick me up and put me in the trash where I belong, daddy. I'm a little dumpster gremlin. That's the reason I'm a gremlin. I used to be a mogwai, but then I got wet. Niggas will literally stab you to death in the kitchen while you're being hunted for the government and not even think about it twice. Stay woke. I'd like to think that David was intelligent, which would lead me to believe that he could have navigated this entire house while it was getting raided without killing his best friend's family. But he did because he was evil, because they were in the way. And honestly, that kind of evil is delicious. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire, be a millionaire. I would ask him to have a baby by me. For this one, I'm going to try my best to keep it calm and collected, because if I met this man, I would literally be vibrating, I would literally be vibrating because I love him so fucking much. This is a Brad Dourif stan account. I love Brad Dourif. He changed me. I changed. Brad Dourif isn't the character that I'm speaking out. The character that I'm actually talking about is Charles Lee Ray from the movie Chucky. I can watch that film over and over and over again because fuck, I love Brad Dourif. Every single thing that I've ever seen him in, he carries.
The Gemini is dead.
No, I am not! I'm alive! I go on! I breathe! Look at me! Look at me! And tell me what you see.
I see a man who looks like Davian Karras.
If you looked with the eyes of faith, you'd see me.
I like when men cry. It's a turn on. It's a kink for me. And he really be crying in movies. Real live thug tears, streaking through his makeup and shit. He be out here crying like he got dumped at prom. Brad Dourif cries in his films and I love that for me. The first time I actually paid attention to his voice, I was looking for rings. I was like, I'm about to really, this is it, mom. Yeah, I found him. He's the one. The way that his voice shakes when he screams as Chucky.
I said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch! You filthy slut!
That man's voice, it has so much energy in it. Charles Lee Ray is a fucking asshole and he proves it to you every single time in every single film. And I love that. I love that he's irredeemable. He's just funny. He's funny. He's a funny dickhead. And that's what makes the films so enjoyable. You're watching a doll run around and murder people, which is fun in itself as well. But the fact that that character wouldn't make any sense being played by anyone else except Brad Dourif, that proves to you, well, his daughter, I didn't think I was gonna like that one. She looks so much like her dad. He really just copied and pasted, huh? He said, pop that bitch on her. Fiona Dourif. I don't know if you are into Gremlins 2 specifically, stacked in a trench coat. I would be a very good partner. Fiona Dourif, sexy. I don't get to use that word often, but Fiona Dourif is sexy. Break out the Ouija board and argue with your dead relatives. He's a fucking asshole in every single film, but I just feel it deep in my hole that Charles Lee Ray fucks like he just got out of prison and he was in solitary confinement the whole time for biting somebody's ear off. That's, you can wake me up out of a dead sleep, dick, and I will still throw it back. I will still throw it back. I feel like he would just he would bottom out to the hilt. Homeboy he didn't have not 6 minutes in the film in total as himself. And he still outacted everyone you know as a possessed doll. Annabelle, take notes, ho. Brad Dourif is an undersold and underpraised actor, and I would still stab any one of yous if he asked me to. I do not want to hear the judgment in the fucking comments. Yes, I'm thirsty. Yes, I am. I'm horny on demand. Also, keep your little mean comments to yourself. Some of y'all don't even be brushing y'all's tongues. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to smell it. This one, number 4, I don't know if any of you guys have watched this film, but because I love this film so much, I'm going to talk about it. It is called Psycho Beach Party. It is about a girl who has multiple personalities, and I don't believe that it is displayed as well as it should be displayed, but the film is fun. It's a fun movie. I definitely recommend you looking up Psycho Beach Party, but the person that I'm talking about in this particular video is Lars. Lars, spoiler alert, Lars is the bad guy. He's this tall Swedish man, and he's murdering people with physical disabilities. God damn, this movie's problematic. Whoa, God damn it. Just to throw this in here, a little backstory. I have had multiple head injuries. I am a disabled person. Not all disabilities are visible. Do with that what you will. Oh my God, I think he killed a nice gay boy. He killed a nice gay boy. That's not a physical disability. Well, hold on, I might have to rewatch that. I gotta get my little spoons together because what? But Lars was the bad guy and he was hot. Lars was walking around, big Swedish chef looking ass, walking around with his little glasses and had his little titties out. He looked good though. The mom and I, on Lars, we identified. Me and her, she was really trying to bust it, ride his face. Homegirl was out here serving up piping hot holes. She was really out here. She was putting pussy on plates. She was like, please sir, I made you this 1, 2, 3 3-course meal. I got a 3-course meal. You are welcome to all of them. And I agree. I was like, you want desserts? How you feel about chocolate? This is the same space. I don't really have a whole lot to say about Lars because I think he ends up like, they did that weird cop-out thing where it was like all a dream and she was like in some mental facility. That annoyed me. Fuck you. That's annoying. This one is called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I think this film is so funny. I really love this antagonist. I love him. The entire film that you're watching, it's so captivating because they're doing it as a documentary style film where this girl is speaking to a serial killer. She thinks that he's a fake serial killer. He's talking about this fake backstory that he makes up so that when he does move from town to town while he's murdering people, that there's already some lore there. So it's very fast-paced. He's going through what he does as a serial killer, and the entire time, the girl ends up thinking that he's just doing all of this shit for the documentary and it's all just some joke. Interspersed between the documentary style filming is the actual film that you are seeing through the eyes of the protagonist that he is assigned to be his final girl, or that's what's perceived. So as all of that is happening, he's speaking to them, he's explaining how serial killers in other films get around. There's one scene where he's like, you guys aren't paying attention, we're running in between when you're not looking at us. As soon as we get up to you, every single time it looks like we've been walking this entire time, which gives us this really weird supernatural feel to ourselves. That is so fucking fun to me. But I love Leslie because, I don't know if you guys can tell, I like serial killers. In film, not real serial killers. Fuck you. I'm a big fan of true crime, but I'm not one of those like, I'm trying to pop my pussy for Ted Bundy, or I ain't trying to smear pussy paste for Ed Gein. I'm okay. Them niggas is weird. They weird. Niggas is weird. You can appreciate and try to learn from true crime, but if you out here making fan pages and sucking dick for information on the knife that was used in the fucking railroad killer murders, you need help.
Stop it. Get some help.
I would not like to see it. Blech. Boo! Y'all suck. Coming up next on the list is number 5. I just watched the Invisible Man film. You guys are gonna make fun of me. I don't care. I was a really big fan of the Kevin Bacon Invisible Man. I was nervous for them to, I guess, maybe try to do this particular film because Universal Studios has really fucked up the monster universe they were trying to create and cultivate. But I think that if they stick to this, the suspense that is in this film is absolutely palpable. The whole time you're watching it, you're constantly scanning the screen because you're not sure if the antagonist is in the shot. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret about me. I'm mad I don't have any sexy neighbors because I really used to be having my window all the way open. I'm like, oh my goodness, you can't see. Oh my, sir, oh my, I'm indecent. That's a porn category that I'm with the shits with. I'm saying porn category like I watch porn, baby. I like GIFs. I ain't trying to do all that. I like amateur shit and GIFs. But you trying to make me watch a whole feature-length film? No. Support your local sex workers. I love a romantic porn. Bend my ass all the way over. And then let's go to HEB afterwards. Had that post-dick glow. It's what all of us deserve. But the entire time you're watching the film, it starts off with, I don't know this man's name. I stay calling him Luke. What's this damn actor's name? What's his name? Oliver Jackson. Oliver Jackson is also in the Hill House Netflix series. I want to climb. I would like to get my climbing gear and I would like to scale that dick. I would like to climb up on that dick and stake my claim to it, honey. I'm trying to put my flag down on that dick. Sorry, after this, I'm going to church. And just for honorable mention, he was not the antagonist, but Aldous Hodge. Sir, there was no reason for you to be that sexy. There was no reason. There was really no reason. Nobody asked for it. It was really uncalled for, and I feel personally attacked. How wet do you want it? Oliver Jackson as Adrian was another villain that was just evil. He was just evil for the sake of being evil. He was abusive. He was possessive. He was all of those super fucking negative things, but he's 6'3". Maybe we can come to some kind of agreement. You can only beat my ass when we are in the bedroom and I have signed a written consent for you to beat this pussy up. He was so crazy. So fucking crazy. He was so crazy and so possessive to the point where homeboy developed a technology that could change everyone's lives forever, and he only used it to stalk his girlfriend. Nigga. So you need help, but I know you throwing down fight night dick. You throwing down Mike Tyson dick. I know homeboy was well skilled in shibari. I know it, and I would let him tie me up, tie me to the train tracks. I'm trying to be your Penelope pit stop. I think he just needed somebody to match that energy. You need a crazy bitch. She was very normal and very nice, and she did not deserve the shit. You look, stop. PSA. If you're in an abusive relationship, seek help. Okay? Do not listen to me. I just like toxic niggas, because that toxic dick, it lowers your credit score. Stay away from it. But it is good dick. It's like a payday loan. It feel good right then and you are fulfilled at the moment. But afterwards, you got to pay the shit back. I mean, I could probably sell my laptop. I could pawn something. This film is absolutely incredible. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend that you do watch it because it is a masterclass in suspense. There's a lot of things that occurred that I was like, I'd have smacked the shit out of this nigga. His brother, I beat that nigga up. He was a sub. Adrian was a dom. Adrian's brother is the kind of nigga you could bully into giving you his credit card and you just run that bitch up. And he'll be like, well, darling, why is so much money? And you just look at him and buck, and he'd run. He's a bum. Adrian, though, I never snitch on you, daddy. Smash on a bitch for you, daddy. I'm gonna end this video on a film that I paid for this film. I bought this film because I liked it so much. This film spoke to me in a way that surprised me, I guess. I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because I'm such a big skeptic. I don't know for sure if there is any kind of afterlife. I don't know if there's any point or rhyme or reason to any of this shit. This film is The Possession of Michael King. Now, Michael, yet again, he's the second one on this list that people wouldn't really consider a villain, but once you become possessed, baby, like that's it. You gotta call it. That's it. That's pretty much it. Like you become a bad guy at that point. The only reason that he became a bad guy, well, he stopped himself. It's kind of tough to put him on the list, but I do want people to watch this film, so I am gonna go ahead and just throw him in here. Also, I really would like for you guys to drop like ideas for videos that you would like to see me try to do. I don't believe that I will ever do any like react things because I don't want to have to struggle with copyright shit. I already get nervous with the memes that I've put in the first video that I edited. I'm like, damn, is Julie Brown gonna try to come for my goddamn neck? Yeah, just maybe give me some suggestions of things that you guys would like to see in the comment section below, and or if you would like, go to my Instagram and there as well, because I am very active on Instagram, and those will be the two places that I'm most receptive to the things that you have to say to me. Any suggestions that you have for improvements on anything, just give me a heads up. Let me know. I just really like films, and this is something that because I'm a cinephile, which is embarrassing enough to say. It's like when you hear people that are like, I'm a sapiosexual. Oh my god, bitch, go fuck a boombox. Shut the fuck up. Annoying. Put the aux cord in your dick. Fuck off. Because I love movies so much, this is something that I will probably be pretty heavy on this channel, which is movies and horror specifically, because that's most of the media that I consume. Anyway, the reason I want to throw this particular character into this video is because the film itself is just so fun for me to watch. You watch this man who has lost someone that he loves very, very deeply, try to find meaning in what life is, and I feel like that rounds back to the beginning of the video. Human beings naturally try to find ways to make things make sense, and I think this was this particular character's avenue of doing so. So he do everything in the dumbest fucking way that he can do it. He orders a demon summoning kit online. He goes to speak to a fucking necromancer and ends up getting possessed by a spirit that was recently dead. And there's this very eerie scene of him in, I believe, a mausoleum.
What is that? What's going on? Michael! Come on, get down, man. Get down from there. Let's get out of here. Come on. Are you okay?
I don't want to be dead.
Fucking like, I was like, ugh. Like you watch something and it just gives you the fucking heebie-jeebies, like when you wash dishes and you touch a piece of bread or some shit, bread in the sink, and you're like, ugh. That's how that made me feel. It made me recoil. But the entire film, you're following his descent into becoming possessed. He has a daughter, and I think it's the babysitter. Killed the damn babysitter, y'all. He done murdered the babysitter. Michael just looked good. You know he was depressed. He was sad. I would take that sad dad dick. Because the whole time that you're watching the movie, you're feeling bad for him, but you're also watching him become more and more fucking stupid. Are demons stupid, or was that Michael being a fucking idiot?
Salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, Jesus Christ.